Hey guys, it is Brendan Borman, and we are finally live for Wacky Wednesday. I apologize for the inconvenience. We were having some technical difficulties. Shout out to Tyler Barola, aka King of the North, the Stream King, coming through where Storm and Borman failed. But this is a Wacky Wednesday. This is the Clash Bash. So we are definitely looking forward to this matchup. We have some phenomenal players. We have different players being represented. I am Jeb Bush. I am not playing. And so I will be making 0 turn moves throughout this entire matchup. Every single player does have a vice president of the opposite party, as that was an option. The stone is an independent and therefore does not have a vice president. And we are hosting a giveaway for all of the subscribers out there. Thank you for tuning into the channel and giving me support. We are almost to 100. We are just shy of that subscriber count. And so today we have Trump 2020, who is being played with an Andrew Yang vice president. Trump 2020 is being played by Tyler Demora. The Stone, without a vice president. The Stone is being played by Trevor Albert. We have Eugene Debs, who is a vice president. He is being played by Tyler Barola. And we have Michelle Obama, who is a Larry Hogan vice president, who is being played by David Robeson. So it should be a very good matchup. Now there are several rules that the players will need to remember as we get going here. And as we do that, when we cut back to the matchup here, will there be any clashes on turn number 1? We got through turn number 1 unscathed. So that means that all players can continue on in turn number 2 wherever they like. Remember, one of the rules here is that the players, if there's a clash, all players involved may not spend in that specific state or national group for 2 whole turns. So on turn number 2, if there's a clash, turn 3, turn 4, they can't spend there. They can go back there turn 5. But this national groups and some of these state group bonuses will definitely help out players as this game continues. I'll come back into that, but because of the Montana rule, where no player can enter into Montana until turn number 20. This will be kind of a longer game. And so the national group bonus is really going to add up. We'll see if that's a good strategy. Hopefully the candidate that you liked on my Facebook post wins, because if you do, we are having a giveaway, and one lucky random player will win a $25 Amazon gift card. So that will be emailed to you once you verify that you do subscribe. Patrick is in here. Steve is in here. What's up, Steve? It's been a while. Jason Casey joining the stream, as is Andrew. So I will take note that you guys are in here just by commenting. It can be any comment. You earn a second entry into the drawing. So if your candidate does win, you get 2 chances. So definitely appreciate the support. I've enjoyed these Clash Bashes, and we'll see. This one's gonna be a fun one. So while we are waiting, I need to do my turn here. They're probably waiting on me. We will see. It looks like Trump. Okay, so they cannot 0 spin. One of the questions. Hello, Eric. So there's the Evangelical for Trump 2020. Michelle looking for African American / swing states. Eugene goes ahead and gets the labor and environment. Definitely a big bonus. Okay, we have our first clash. North Carolina clash. So I'm going to write this down. We have a clash in Virginia. Okay, so that means that both Trump 2020 and Michelle Obama cannot spend in North Carolina or in Virginia for 2 turns. So this is turn number 3 upcoming. So they cannot do that in turn 3 or in turn 4. You can call me whatever you want, Jason Kaysen. Jason, you can even call me Daddy, because no, just kidding. So let's see here. So Trevor Albert, he is playing as the Stone. David Robeson is playing as Michelle Obama. Tyler Demora is Trump 2020, and Tyler Barola is Eugene Debs, who does have the largest national group of the bunch. So again, they do have to spend a minimum of $50K per turn per the rules here. There is a ballot exception, so as far as the clashes go, a player who on the ballot, if they have a like this turn, they could spin North Carolina or Virginia if there was a ballot. There is a millionaire rule, which is brand new. Basically, because players are not forced to spend their entire allotment of cash, they're going to build up money real quickly. Obviously, not me, the streamer, but if anyone ever gets to higher than $1 million. So right now we've got the Stone with 500K. If he ever does hit that 1 million mark, doesn't matter cash or bonuses, he has to spend at least 500K of his money. So that prohibits someone from going big buku savings, because we want these players to have to make decisions, maybe force some clashes, hence the AKA Clash Bash. So we are on turn number 3. Everyone has free reign, except for Michelle Obama and Trump, who cannot spend in Virginia and in North Carolina. I'm going to remind the group chat just so they don't spend. Awesome. Better be safe than sorry. So again, you do not have to stay tuned for this whole video to get that extra entry into the drawing. I do appreciate the support. But I do know you guys have lives. There's a 270 we have a 270, the actual 270 tournament that's going on, and we've got some new names on the leaderboard. Looking forward to running across you guys in the lobby. Of course, we have some usual suspects as well. Trying to do my best to stay away from George Fry. He's got my number when it comes to these actual tournaments. That's why this gift card I'm re-gifting tonight, it's from the actual last tournament. It's only $25 and not like $100 because George Fry kicked my butt. So we do have a clash in Colorado. So I'm going to write that down. And New Mexico. Turn 3, Colorado and New Mexico. Ooh, Texas is secured by the Stone. It's a big move. Welcome in Dustin Downey and Daniel Warren. Make sure, and Dennis Muxlow. Make sure you guys comment below so that I can give you guys credit for that extra entry. Going back into the comments, doesn't matter what you say. You can say I'm here. You can root on the person that you wish to win. Remember, in order to be eligible for the drawing, you do have to be a subscriber at Brendan Borman on YouTube, and your person that you like has to actually win. So looking at it, the Stone is going to have an easy path here toward that manufacturing bonus. How's it going, Ben? Welcome back. Now, Eugene cannot spend in Virginia. He did he spin last turn? No, he did. He can spin in Virginia. That was Michelle and Trump. He can't spin in New Mexico or Colorado. Michelle can't spin in any of those places. So she is really kind of tied right now, going for that swing state bonus. Her hand's tied. Trump looking for that Old South, but he is also kind of pivoting toward that town and gown bonus. So you might see Eugene actually close off Virginia because he can't be contested by these other two players, and it's just me. So that could be a strategy where he just wants to go ahead and lock in those electors now. Virginia is a valuable state. Why not? We'll see if he actually falls through on that. Welcome in Cody Shepard. This is the Clash Bash. Make sure if you guys are just tuning in to drop a comment so I know who was here, so I give you an extra entry. Yes, Dustin, if you're just tuning in. So we have Trevor Albert from left to right. Trevor is playing as the Stone. David Robeson is playing as Michelle Obama. Tyler DeMora is playing as Trump 2020. And Tyler Barola is playing as Eugene Debs. I am the streamer. I am Jeb Bush. I am Moneybags, 1 million. Hello, Siraj. Congratulations to Team Siraj in my subscriber tournament. He has 3 of the 4 finalists, including Jason Casey, who is in the comments section, including David Robeson, who is playing in this match. So Team Siraj is well represented. Welcome, Christian, to the stream. These players are taking their time this time. Remember that Michelle and Trump cannot spend in North Carolina or Virginia, and Eugene cannot spend in Colorado or New Mexico, nor can Michelle Obama due to the wacky rules. So cutting over back toward the rules for a quick second. Something we have not had happen yet is a 10th pip clash. So on the last, you're trying to close off the state. If that happens, then the next round, that player is forced to do a 0-turn move. Now, they'll accumulate cash, they'll accumulate bonuses, which is a good thing. However, someone could go after their states, and they can't do anything about it. So as long as it's not closed off, it's anyone's game. There is a minimum spinning rule, and no one will enter into Montana until turn number 20. So this will be a longer game. That's why I think the national groups was a valid strategy to start off the match. And so we are coming down here the last 20 seconds, and here we go. California is entered successfully by Eugene. Florida goes to Michelle, working on that swing state bonus. Iowa, Pennsylvania, Florida, and Arizona will be enough. The Stone moving into New Mexico, taking advantage of not being able, their players not being able to go there. Looks like Trump's main focus is to go ahead and get that bonus. And Virginia is not sealed, but it is heavily spent in. Awesome. So that is the end of turn number 4. We have the manufacturing bonus, which is a big 93,000 per turn, and the town and gown bonus, which is one of Trump's weakest bonuses, but it's better than nothing, and that might help him expand into some other states. So going to go ahead and hit end turn. Now, the people who clashed on turn number 2, which is Michelle and Trump 2020, they can now spend in North Carolina and Virginia. So Virginia was not closed off, but both players could go there, and there could be a clash. We've got North Carolina, which just those 2 players. You're going to likely see some action in... You can see some action in Arizona. You might see the Stone go ahead and close off Colorado and New Mexico because both of the players, Eugene Debs and Michelle, they both clashed, and so this is the second turn. And so those players cannot spin there. So that was very wise to go ahead and enter into those states. And so this is turn number 5. All players are well below the $1 million threshold for the millionaire rule, where they have to spend a minimum of $50K, but they can spend more if they choose. Reading some of the comment sections, Justin Falls is joining the stream. Welcome, Justin. Make sure you drop a comment so that you get credit for your extra entry for the $25 Amazon gift card. Andrew, with a comment, just subbed today to your YouTube. Watched a few of your videos. Really great stuff. I appreciate it. It's fun. I know that I'll never really make money off of YouTube, but I wouldn't do it if I didn't enjoy it. But it does kind of stink that for a while I had like 8 subscribers. We're getting close to 100, so I do know that there are lots of talented players in the lounge, and I like to play some of the top guys and learn new strategies and give my input. So this is what I really enjoy, though, putting my own twist to some of these 270 games like the Clash Bash. Next week, Tyler DeMore and I were talking. We have an idea on what we're going to do, and the winner of this match will advance to the Wacky Finals to face Ben Shaban, to face Troy Moore, and to face Eric York in a match that will also feature a Amazon gift card. So, like to give away. It pays to subscribe to the channel. Just don't tell my wife because she'll get mad. No. Here we go. Alabama. So all players did spin. Trump did low spend. He might only be using his town and gown money here. Michelle looks like she's going to get that swing state bonus. Eugene entering into a few states. North Carolina, we have some action. Okay, New Mexico is not closed. Neither is Colorado. Eugene does close Virginia, so he didn't want to take that risk. He kind of put the fruit out there to see if someone wanted to be dumb and risk a clash. But there is the swing state bonus for Michelle. There is the oil and gas bonus for the stone. A lot of chicken going on here. No one wants to be in a clash. Especially later on when you've got some people who've got some money saved up and can do some damage. That's going to be the fun part. So looking here, Trump's in North Carolina. He can't get the old South with Virginia being closed off at its current state. Trevor in the stone is working on, he did get the oil bonus. He is pressuring in Louisiana. He's also pressuring in North Carolina. Not facing pressure in either of his manufacturing states or Texas, so he is good there. Eugene, kind of all over the place, working on that high-tech bonus. He is only 1 pip up into California. He is sitting at 740K, so likely he will not want to hit that $1 million threshold, so he'll probably spend some money this turn. And then Michelle, really setting herself up for that African-American bonus. Does have that swing state bonus and could be working on the Old South bonus. So Michelle is also in a great position. Again, just to switch back over, back to the rules. So we have the clash. If they clash, they can't spin for 2 turns. We have the 10th pip clash. So if someone tries to fill it up and they clash, they have to 0 spin the next turn. They can't defend anywhere except on a ballot round. Ballot round, anyone can spend anywhere. Montana, no one can enter in Montana until turn number 20. And then I've talked about this spending rule quite a bit. So this is the Wacky Wednesday Clash Bash. David Robeson, playing as Michelle Obama, is one of the highly regarded players in the lounge when it comes to multiplayer. And I believe that I'm looking at the Facebook comment on picking your character to try to win the gift card. Looks like Michelle Obama was a very popular candidate. The Stone was also a popular candidate. Trevor Albert getting some love. Now, Players picked the candidates not knowing who the player was that was representing that candidate, which I thought was a fun twist. Everyone knows the name President Camacho, a.k.a. Tyler Barola, but no one knew that he was picking Eugene Debs. So definitely fun to kind of play around with stuff like that. Okay, here we go. Michelle making a play for the African American bonus. Colorado is sealed to the stone. Eugene making a play for the high-tech bonus. He did spend big in California. Pressure in Michigan. Pressure in Minnesota. Here comes North Carolina. Okay, Michelle making some progress. New Mexico closed off. Using some of that oil money in his reserves. Okay, so we have a pretty evenly matched battle here. There's the Old South bonus and the high-tech bonus. We are officially at 2 bonuses apiece. One of Trump's bonuses being a national group bonus. So, we haven't had any clashes in a while. Players are free to spend. Everyone is well below $1 million, so they still have free reign on how much they want to spend. No one's forced to spend anything. We do have some pressure in California. Could be some big fireworks. Probably not. I would assume that North Carolina gets sealed off this turn by Michelle. How close is she to that African American bonus? Let's see. She is... What states is she in? She is in Illinois, as well as some of these other states. Who else is in Illinois? The Stone. Okay, so the Stone could make a play. That'd be tough. That would be a monster clash in Illinois if every player went all out there. Probably too risky. Now in Pennsylvania, it's just Michelle right now with that swing state bonus, but Eugene does have the high-tech money. Could be entering in there soon. It also could be where pressure in New York kind of return the favor for Trump's pressure in California. Those two could be going to battle. Really excited to see how this plays out. If you are just tuning in, make sure you drop a comment. Maybe cheer on the player that you're rooting for. I'm going to go back through this comment section and see who all tuned in the video. That way, when I do the drawing for the $25 gift card, you get 2 entries instead of 1. That will be streamed live. That way, you all can see that it's not just a rigged deal. And I do actually give away gift cards. This is the 3rd one that I'm going to be giving away. Want to give some love to Javier Rodriguez. He launched a podcast that you can check him out. I think it's just about everywhere. Spotify, but it's the Pro and Con Podcast. So you can follow him. Then I know they're on Twitter and on Instagram. It's a little bit of politics, a little bit of sports, things like that. So Arizona, big money spent. We do have a clash in D.C. Okay, this is turn number 7. I'm going to write that down. Clash in Illinois. Oh, boy. That's huge. That is huge. A player who's got some money right now could go into Illinois and try to steal it. Michigan is sealed. Clash in New Hampshire. Okay, will that be enough for Michelle to get that African American bonus? No, she was counting on Illinois right there. It is not. Big clash. Okay, so, wow, look at this math. I don't know if this was intentional or not, but holy cow. Donald Trump has 999,000. He is under a million. So he just survived, cut over to the rules, the millionaire rule, where it says that anyone who starts their term with over $1 million has to spend half of it. So because the fact that he is below that $1 million, he does not have to. We did have clashes that turn in 3 states, District of Columbia, Illinois, and in New Hampshire. And so when we look at the states here, Eugene and Trump can't spin there for 2 turns. District of Columbia, Trump and Michelle can't spin there. We still haven't had North Carolina sealed off. That would have been a gutsy steal. But because Michelle can't spend in Illinois, and neither can the Stone, Michelle might just go ahead and close off North Carolina. And Pennsylvania, that might be another state that Michelle spins in. Eugene's got 618K. He just showed that he's not willing to leave a state unclosed off. He did go ahead and invest into Michigan. He had that high-tech money that he did not let go to waste. So really, I'd say eyes on Illinois. See if maybe Trump or Eugene tries to take a stab. That could be important for the Latino, African American, big 20 electors in general there. So big state. Sam Banks joining in the comments. Thank you. You'll definitely get your second entry if you make sure that you had followed on YouTube, subscribed, and had clicked on the person. And I did take a screenshot beforehand, so I do know who has and has not done that. Been playing for a while now, but this is my first time watching it streamed. Solid content. Appreciate it. I'm always looking for some feedback when it comes to ideas. So this is the 4th edition of the Wacky Wednesday. There are some other great tournaments going on. I know Daniel Smith is launching the Republican versus Democrat team, the tournament. We just had the completion of the World Cup. We have, of course, the RHL White House and Congress League going on. And then we have Chad Harris in his Tournament of Champions going on. So lots of great ways to get involved. Of course, we have the official 270 tournament going on in the lounge right now. Today, September the 16th. The code is DEBATES if you are watching this and somehow have not been clued in on that yet. Here we go. California, we have a steal. That's the high-tech flip. The Stone secures Louisiana. We have all kinds of people in Maryland going on right now. My state, Missouri. Ooh, North Carolina not finished off. Interesting. Pennsylvania flips by 1 pip. So although Eugene loses California, he does steal Pennsylvania. But there is Wisconsin. So turn number 8, swing states is gone. High tech is gone. High tech goes over to Mr. Donald Trump and his 120 turn bonus. That's going to be huge for him to keep California. Eugene does have 385, but looks like that Trump is in a great position. He's got 620. He does have that high-tech money, so he might just want to spin there and just make sure that that is his. Not facing any pressure right now whatsoever in New York. Still waiting on that African-American bonus when it comes to Michelle. She was limited, so this is the 2nd turn. No one entered into Illinois. That's huge. So if either player If Eugene or if Trump had entered in, they could have secured Illinois. But, you know, we had bigger fish to fry here. We had Pennsylvania that flipped. We had California that flipped. So definitely a whole lot of strategies going on. The stone has pretty much held the manufacturing bonus from the get-go. He also has the oil bonus. So he could be looking to do some attacking, maybe just hoard that money to defend in Texas. Again, I am the streamer. I am Jeb Bush. And when it comes to the ballot round, which will happen at minimum of turn number 21, because no one can enter into Montana until turn number 20, that means that at turn number 21, or whenever the first ballot comes, I will be eliminated. And then I'll rejoin the game. And from that point, they'll just keep on battling it out. Same rules will apply throughout the match. I'm actually going to make this just a hair bigger so you guys can see the money a little bit better. Okay, we have fairly low spend from all of the players. Illinois is entered into by Trump. So we have a third party joining the game. Maryland, big spin by Michelle. Minnesota does flip, although he should keep the town and gown bonus for this turn. Ooh, a clash. Okay, turn number 9. We have a clash in Ohio. And we have a clash in Pennsylvania. Just writing this down so I can keep track. So that means they will not be able to spin there again until turn number 12. Turn number 12. Okay, so we have 833K for Trump. Does hold that pip lead in California. I'm getting a message. Let me just make sure. It's not a rules question. Ah, someone spit in Montana, so we did catch that. Okay. Okay. Is there a state that's not filled? I know Latino is a pretty important bonus. He's saying that he is going to lose anyway. Should he forfeit? That's up to you, Tyler. Just send the message to the guys. We possibly could do Nevada to make it last longer, or we could just let it play out here. I definitely need to hit in turn though. Okay, so just tying up some loose ends here. Thank you guys for hanging tight with us here as we try to figure this bad boy out. Again, what we're looking at here was we had the Montana rule. Players enter Montana beginning on turn number 20. This is turn number 10, and we accidentally had a player enter in. So I'm going to go ahead and cut back. We have some defense in California, pressure in Florida, which will be big. Ooh, Illinois goes to the stone. Three-way, spin, no clash. Maryland being closed off, as is Minnesota. North Dakota flips, no close off. Pennsylvania is closed off. So Eugene was willing to take that risk. Okay, I just received word that Tyler Barola is going to forfeit. Unfortunately, he had a brain lapse and did spend in Montana. And we wish him the best. Thank you so much, Tyler. I picked out a pretty face. I hope you like that picture of you on the graphic. He's a good sport. He's a good player. He is Mr. President Camacho. And unfortunately, if you did vote for Eugene versus Debs, you are not going to win the gift card. But that's okay. So we are on turn number 11. 3 minutes to go. And if you're just joining the stream, drop a comment so I know that you were here. That way I can give you a second entry into the drawing that will take place at the conclusion of this match. If you are just tuning in, we had two players, Michelle Obama and Trump, who have pretty high cash. They are not over $1 million. They still have free reign. Players have to spend a minimum of $50K per turn. These are all house rules for the Clash Bash. And even though we did have Montana entered into on accident by Tyler Barola, once he forfeits this turn, that will kind of reset. And then it'll be a 3-horse race. And that'll be interesting. Welcome in Javier Rodriguez. I just plugged your new podcast a little bit ago, the Pro and Con podcast. Got Jeremy Cooper, Sperber also in the comment section below. He has played in at least one, maybe more of the Wacky Wednesdays. Definitely a good player. Got robbed last time. That is one of the craziest beats I've ever seen in a long time. District of Columbia, we got some spinature by Michelle. Going back after that African American. Can she flip some states here? Delaware. Florida's defended. Illinois, big turn here. Okay, the stone does secure, but Trump does get ahead in second place. North Carolina's finished off. We have a clash in North Dakota, our first 10th peg clash in North Dakota. So this is huge for Michelle, huge. So basically, because I need to communicate this in the group chat. So bear with me here, but because the Stone and Trump both clashed in North Dakota, that means they have to zero spin this turn. Okay, so just communicating to the players so that we don't have any mix-ups with the rules. So this is the Clash Bash. We did just have our first 10th pip clash in North Dakota. Going back to the rules, if there is a 10th pip clash, all players involved must zero spin their next turn. And then after that, they'll go back to having full control. And so that's going to be huge. This is an opportunity for Michelle. I haven't looked at the map. Let's do that right now. Where can Michelle make some headway? So she's in Virginia. So she could go ahead and close off Virginia from Trump successfully. She's also in Ohio. She could steal Ohio. Okay, so we also have a comment coming in from Dustin Downing. I appreciate it. He is absolutely correct. Michelle must spend at least $500K because she is over $1 million. She spent 490. We'll give it to her. Okay. So looking at it, we have the 3 bonus, the 2 bonus, with the stone only having 2. But he does hold the elector advantage, and a lot of his states are filled off. So we've got Illinois, Wisconsin. Did not face any pressure in Ohio. So both Michelle and Trump have to spend $500K. Hopefully Tyler DeMora is watching the stream. He hasn't responded to my messages lately, but per the millionaire rule, anyone who starts the term with over $1 million must spend at least $500K. So we are on turn number 13. Montana will not be filled in until turn number 20 at the minimum. So we have a while to go before the ballot. We could see some fireworks in Florida. We could see some fireworks in New York. No pressure in California anymore. And we do have some pressure in Texas. So I would say right now that there is a good chance that Trump can kind of have his pick on who he wants to pick on. But right now, I don't know. I think I'd probably defend New York because I think that Michelle is his main competition. Even though the Stone has so many electors locked up, it's kind of a token. It's light pressure in Texas. I know it's a tough spot. So we have a spoiler alert from Siraj. Thank you, Siraj, for joining into the stream. It's a multiplayer match. David Robeson playing Michelle Obama. He will win. So probably a good prediction at this point. Javier, oh my gosh, only turned 10. LOL. Yes. So we did not get started right at 9 o'clock. We started about 9:20 or so, 9:25. We had some technical difficulties. So turns out that I'm not the stream king like Tyler DeMora. He helped me get through some stuff, and so we are happy to bring this to you. This is the 5th edition of Wacky Wednesday. Thanks, Javier. I appreciate the plug. Go follow Brendan Borman on YouTube for 270 tips and fun videos. This video will be up there. And I don't know, probably some other videos in the near future of gameplay. And if you guys have any ideas or you want to see some content, and I'm always down if you have a question, just want to message me about strategy. I know that Dustin Downey and I talked this morning a little bit about specifically oil and gas and some other different paths, different combinations, and some just gameplay theory. So I don't mind sharing, what I know. I definitely enjoy when I'm playing top level players. Oh, Tyler went for Florida. Ah, the stone just got lucky. So the stone is going to have free reign here to steal some states. Oh boy. Oh boy. So the stone stone's going to pick up agriculture. So we're the 3 bonuses aside across the board, and going to the leaderboard here, or going to the rules. That was a 10th pip clash. Michelle and Donald Trump, because of Florida, are gonna have to zero spin. They can't defend any other states. That's why this is Wacky Wednesday. This is the Clash Bash, and the stone is sitting pretty. Coming in with a comment from the group chat, David Robeson. Damn it, Trump. You are ruining democracy. David Robeson is a tough player, but sometimes there's just nothing you can do. You're a very nasty person, says Dardamora. It's a very nasty thing to say. You guys get to be a fly on the wall. Tyler, guys, this is the Clash Bash, right? And not the troll. Jeremy Cooper's Sperber has the troll. Fun. I got to be the troll there today. Check those videos out. Try to be in the cast if you think you can take down a legend, or if you can be the legend, or the up-and-comer, or the troll. Definitely fun videos. But Tyler's saying that he's just kind of playing the troll. So 212 locked in for the stone. He could take a chance now to flip Michigan, and he can't flip both. But let's see, 61, 21, 82, 43, 360, 420. He could steal Pennsylvania, but it looks like he's just going to go up in a couple states. He's going to flip Michigan. He's going to seal Michigan. He's going to flip Iowa. And seal North Dakota. So he's not risking that 10th pip clash business. He is locking and loaded what he can when he can. No more bonuses. Still 3 aside. That does help Michelle substantially with the money. And it also helps Trump. But they both have quite a bit of cash, especially an advantage over the stone. Now, could someone make a play into Texas? Not quite yet. You can see some more fireworks in New York. Oh boy. So again, they can spin anywhere. They just can't spin in Montana. Still have not had Virginia closed off. Have not had Pennsylvania closed off. Looking at the state groups, we have the Latino bonus, which is still up in the air. Trump could theoretically get that this turn if he was able to get New Jersey. And is he in Nevada? I thought he was, but maybe he's not. Oh yeah, he clashed with Eugene earlier, I believe. So he should be able to get Latino if he flips Nevada, assuming he doesn't lose New York, which is a big if. Awesome. Oh, finally got the baby to sleep. Sorry we're running a little bit late tonight, but this was worth the wait. I've been looking forward to this all day. We've got some great players. We have Trevor Albert, who is playing the Stone, currently leading. He did have the second most votes, the Stone, only behind David Robeson and Michelle Obama. Then Tyler DeMora is playing as Donald Trump. He is spread out across the board, but he's going to have to make some magic happen. So, big spin by Michelle and Trump. Clash in Connecticut. So, Connecticut on turn 15. Florida. Oh, that would have been nasty if we would have had another clash in Florida. Nebraska flips. Nevada. Okay, New Jersey. New York. Ohio does flip. Pretty big flip in electors. In Pennsylvania, tempting. Throwing that fruit out there. Risking that 10th pip clash, though. Virginia is gone to Michelle. This looks to be a two-team race. This 9th pip action starting to be funny. We have Tyler DeMora staying alive, getting that Washington. He has that high-tech money, so I don't blame him there. Turn number 16, we are starting to run out of options. Michelle is at 1.35, has to spend at least $500K due to the millionaire rule. We could have action in Ohio. We could have action. So this could be an opportunity for the Stone to go 1 pip into Connecticut and then next turn take it, because we had a clash between Michelle and Trump on turn 15. They can't spin there on turn 16 or turn 17. So they can't spin together again until turn number 18. We have 3 bonuses for Michelle, 3 bonuses for the Stone, and 2 bonuses for Tyler DeMora and Trump 2020. And if you are just tuning in, make sure you comment below so I know that you were here. That way you get 2 entries. Hopefully you chose one of the 3 remaining candidates, the one who's going to win. We had Tyler Barola bow out just a little early, hit a brain fart, and accidentally went into Montana, breaking the rules. And so he did decide to do the right thing in his mind and forfeit. Tyler DeMora. The 9th pip is now the new 10th pip. Clash bash problems. Oh, it's like a mind game. What do? Do you go 9? Do you go 10? Do you not go at all? Do you hope your opponent clashes and then you just stack up on the... that's funny. Peyton Scheringer, new YouTube subscriber. Thank you so much for the sub today. Comment what if we just joined. So anything. That works. So basically, I just need to know that you were here. So you get 1 entry for being here, and then you also get an entry just for clicking on the which player you think was going to win. So you have to be correct for that entry, but anyone who was here, I'm going to throw into that drawing. So Alabama's moved up, pressure in some more states, Alabama, Arkansas, Alaska, Connecticut. Ooh, almost a clash in Delaware. Almost tragic. A clash in Hawaii. A clash in Hawaii. Turn 16, Hawaii. Pressure in Kansas. Will we have a clash this turn again? Ooh, Nebraska, the 9th pip. We have a clash in Nevada. That's going to be big for the Stone. You can take Nevada if he wants to. New Jersey flips. Oregon is sealed to the 10th pip. Pennsylvania. Oh my gosh, Pennsylvania is just hanging on 1 pip at a time. Pressure in Tennessee, that African-American money going to be put to the test. We have Washington is sealed off to Trump. I tell you what, Trump's doing a good job hanging around. 182, 185, 164. This is anybody's ball game. And we are coming up closer and closer to turn number 20. Got 3 more turns this madness before anyone can go into Montana. So where can the Trump 2020 make up some ground? He's in a lot of states. He doesn't have an uber amount of cash. Now the Stone, he can definitely secure Nevada if he wants it, because both players clash there. Hawaii, there was a clash, but Trump is not in Hawaii. Now he could do 1 pip to enter into there. Let's see, where else? Michelle. Yeah, we have a comment here. Trump shouldn't have spent in Connecticut. Okay, he clashed in Connecticut the previous turn. Ah, you are smart, Andrew. I will message Tyler here. He already had control of it, but I'm going to message. Okay, so that's a good catch. So let's look at the rules again. Because there was a clash, he should not spent for 2 turns, but it was not a 10th pip clash. Okay, just clarifying that with him. We are down to 40 seconds on the clock. Turn number 17. We are all human. We all make mistakes. Just if you're going to make a mistake, don't forfeit before turn 8. There we go. Connecticut is stolen, so we are good. Ah. All right, so this is going to be interesting. We got too many nice people in this game. So we have Tyler Barola setting the precedent. He made a oops. He accidentally spent in Nevada. And then we have Tyler DeMora accidentally spinning in Connecticut. I don't think that one maybe warranted a forfeit, but he decides to do the gentleman thing, and that's why we all love Tyler. And so we now have a 2-player race. That does impact the dynamics quite a bit, I would say, because now that there's a clash, they're going to clash with each other. They can't spin, so the third person can't come in and steal some things. So it's turning into more of a heads-up match, and we are down to Trevor Albert versus the one, the only David Robeson. Troy Moore coming in. I voted for Eugene Debs. What happened to him? He spent in Montana. He broke the rules, and he decided that it was best for all parties to bow out. So this is turning into a more of a head-to-head matchup, and now that all these states are locked up, it looks like David Robeson has a clear path to victory. Now, Michelle does have to spend all her money, and there cannot be a ballot. Again, no one can enter into Montana. But the Stone's going to have to flip something. He's at 253. Where can he find that magic flip? So there goes New York. There goes California, the third pip. Couple soft leads for the Stone. Here come the bonuses. Latino, high tech, export. 6 bonuses to 3. Trevor is the spiritual winner already for following the rules. That's right. We did have another rules violation that so you're over $1 million. You have to spend $500K, and David Robeson spent $490K. Like, I'm not going to complain about that, but let's see if on a technicality judge rules that he wins. We'll have to see how the cookie crumbles here. So it looks like that a lot of the states where the Stone has a lead, they are soft leads up here in the Northwest. Michelle is pressuring in several places, and she has quite a big cash advantage and that 8 elector lead. He does have the ag bonus and the manufacturing oil, so he could defend some of these states like Wyoming, Alaska with that oil money. But he's going to have to flip something, and I don't know what he's going to be able to flip. He needs to flip a total of 17. So Georgia by itself does not do it. If he can get into Hawaii, those 4, and another flip. But he does have a lead in Massachusetts. I definitely liked the strategy that all these players had. I think Tyler Barola was going to go about more of the stealing business when there was a clash. We didn't get to see him very long because he did forfeit. And then, of course, Trump playing an unconventional Trump. He went for the high-tech California and New York combination. We have a clash in Idaho. So, per the game rules, they cannot spend in Idaho next turn. Maine. Maine is a flip. Pressure in Missouri. Rhode Island is a flip. We're getting close. Vermont. Vermont is a flip. Okay, we are getting closer and closer. Can Trevor Albert pull the miracle? Can he pull the miracle? I'm not thinking so. Now, we did have Michelle. Yeah, she spent 700, so she did spend over her 500s, making sure last turn. This is the first turn that someone can enter into Montana. So will there be a clash in Montana? Again, no one can spend in Idaho this turn. Idaho is safe. I'd say Washington likely flips. Washington or Missouri. One of those two probably flip. This is really unfortunate. This would have been a really good game, I think, if Tyler, if the third player, had hung on and there had been some clashes at the end. I appreciate Tyler for bowing out. Yeah. There'll be other opportunities for Wacky Wednesday in the future. So all these guys are great players. Nick Tessman, new player that I haven't seen in the comments yet tonight. Make sure you drop a comment below so that I know that you were here. That way you get an extra entry into the drawing for the $25 Amazon gift card. Yeah, Andrew saying I'd say good game at this point. I think I have to agree with you there. So close, though. Okay, so nothing out of the ordinary yet. Lots of states being locked in. No steals yet. Entry into New Jersey. Oh, Utah's flipped. And I think here comes Washington. Yep, there goes Washington. Okay. So that's going to do it. There's the town and gown bonus. There's the ballot. That was fun. Thank you, guys. So I'm going to go and end my turn. That way we can finish up business here. And then I'm going to check out the comments. And I'm going to go ahead and make a random wheel generator here. Okay, that'll do it. And by a final score of 289, David Robeson, a.k.a. Michelle Obama, is the Wacky Wednesday, the Clash Bash champion, and has earned a spot in the finals. of the Wacky 270 Championship that will take place very soon between Troy Moore, Ben Shaban, and Eric York. Again, thank you to all of the players who did tune in. Hang tight. I will be drawing for the winner of the gift card here. So I'm going to go into studio mode. Going to play around with this just a little bit. Do 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 do. Okay, so what I need to do now is add a screen, window capture, wheel, and I believe this should work. Sorry guys, I am a little bit slow. Gonna make my wheel here. So we have Tossin Lake, Siraj Thomas. We have Jeff, Ray, Jeremy Cooper Spurzer, Zach Ogezi, Marty Donnelly, Nate Hamilton, Eric York, and David Robeson, who are all in the wheel. And then I'm going to go through the comments here. So Siraj was in here. He gets a second entry. Jeremy was in here. Zach, Nate, Eric. Awesome. Okay. So we are going to go ahead and do the spin. And this is for the $25 Amazon gift card. Just want to make sure, can you guys see the wheel okay? I think I'm frozen. Wait until it catches up here. Here we go. We have a winner. Siraj Thomas. It pays to subscribe. You have won the $25 gift card.